To just prove how freaking lazy I am, this video was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day, and it didn't because I forgot to record it. Yeah, sorry. So it's a late Valentine's Day video, everyone. Woo! On last year's Valentine's Day, I went over all of Sonic's love interests across various corners of media, via shows, comics, the games. We just went over it all, discussed it, and then we just had a nice little discussion on his love interests, and that was all it was, and it wasn't really anything too big. So I wanted to do that again. We're gonna do it again, but this time we're not gonna do it with Sonic. We're gonna do it with another character who is very near and dear to my heart, and that is the Dark Knight himself, Batman. Now, Batman, as we know, gets around. You know, he's pulling in the ladies. All right, the ladies love the tall, dark, mysterious type, and that is Batman to a T. So we're gonna go over his love interests across various corners of media, and that'll be that. And then we'll just talk about them, and then you can all put in the comments which one you prefer as, like, you know, the Batman love interest. I will have my take at the end, and that's it. And then we're going to move on, and we're not going to harass anyone for their opinions, unless they choose Barbara Gordon, in which case you can shame them off the face of the earth. So let's start off with the very first one, Julie Madison. His very first love interest. She first appeared in Detective Comics number 31. Julie was originally portrayed as an oft-imperialed socialite actress who dates Bruce Wayne when not being rescued by Batman. Most significantly, Julie was used as a pawn in the vampiric monks battle with the Dark Knight. Julie is engaged to Bruce Wayne for a while until she ends the relationship because he wouldn't find a serious career. Of course, she did not know he was Batman. She is revealed to have been an actress in Detective Comics number 40. She made her last appearance in Detective Comics number 49, where she is targeted for revenge by Basil Karlo, Clayface, because she starred in the remake of one of his films. Maybe Basil... You know what? He's ahead of his time. He's tired of these goddamn female remakes. Based Basil Karlo. So, in post-crisis, so when, you know, we've kind of, that's like what the continuity is now, kind of, before New 52 screwed everything up, but in the good continuity is what I call it, which is pre-52, which I call the good continuity. They redid the whole thing with Batman and the Monk and Batman and the Monster Man. They redid all that, which was done by Matt Wagner, who you should go read them. They're awesome. So in Batman and the Monster Men, set early in Batman's career, this reintroduces Julie Madison. So this is now the new version of Julie Madison. This version of the character is a law student and the daughter of Norman Madison, a failing businessman who borrows money from the monster Sal Maroni, who, of course, if you know Batman lore, you'll know all about the Maronis. Bruce Wayne cares deeply for Julie, but is reluctant to tell her the secret of his identity. However, Julie herself suspects that Bruce is hiding something. She takes further importance in Batman and the Mad Monk, which is, again, redoing that storyline, but just kind of modernizing it a bit. Not in the bad way. This is back in 2006. This is back when modernizing actually meant what it meant, which is just bringing it to a more modern time. This series, of course, redoes Batman and the Mad Monk, where he has a conflict with the vampiric villain, the Monk. Julie sleepwalks into the Monk's lair, where she is bitten by the vampire and becomes his thrall. The Monk attempts to manipulate Julie into signing over her father's finances to his supernatural cult, but Batman saves her. Her father is killed by Sal Maroni's thugs. Distraught, she leaves Bruce and Gotham, goes to Africa as a member of the UN Peace Corps. And that is last time we ever kind of see this version of Julie, the new modern version. Overall, Julie Madison, she never really stuck for me. She's more or less just kind of like, oh yeah, you were Bruce Wayne's first love interest, and that's kind of all she is now. She's just kind of like, oh yeah, I remember her, whatever. Yeah, Julie, she is more to me as a plot convenience, especially in the modern versions. She is a lot more of a plot convenience to me, so I don't really care too much about Julie. But I don't hate her or anything, I just don't feel anything. Then we have Linda Page. She first appeared in Batman number 5. Linda was a wealthy socialite from New York City, the daughter of a Texas oil magnate, Thomas Page. She dedicated her time as a nurse for the elderly. Linda met Bruce Wayne through their social circles. She occasionally dated him from time to time. She, however, had no idea he was Batman. She scolded Bruce for being a waster and occasionally a coward when he ran away from danger, which, of course, he ran away to become Batman. Linda first encountered Batman when a gangster named Mike Grogan kidnapped her and forced her to give medical aid to his brother Tommy, who was shot during a robbery. Batman fought against the Grogan mob and freed Linda. Linda was endangered once again and rescued by Batman after she accidentally uncovered the identity of a criminal called Mr. Baffle, which landed her in some hot water. She required the aid of Batman and Robin when her father was being blackmailed into selling his oil company to his partner, Graham Masters. And then she just kind of faded away, and that's it for Linda. So again, I don't feel too much for Linda. Let's move on to Kathy Kane, who is the first Batwoman. The very first Batwoman is Kathy Kane. So this is not the Batwoman that we all know and hate nowadays. This is the old Batwoman. So, first appearing in Detective Comics number 233, Kathy Kane, who is a wealthy Gotham City heiress and a former circus performer, she was inspired by Batman's example to become a costume crime fighter, using her acrobatic training and an arsenal of gadgets, which she disguised as female makeup products and jewelry. That's fucking based. And money inherited from her late relative, she debuted as Batwoman. It suggested that she was extremely infatuated with Batman to the point she assumed the costumed identity to get close to him and hopefully engage in a relationship with him. It worked, but not quite in the way she hoped, as Batman wanted her to retire from her role for fear that she would be hurt in her exploits. Undeterred, Batwoman continued to operate in Gotham, and her dual identity was soon discovered by her niece, Betty Kane, who debuted as Batgirl. So Betty Kane is the first Batgirl. The duo had romantic aspirations for Batman and Robin, and would often attempt to win their affection. After a short career, Kathy eventually gave up her costume life and any hope of pursuing Batman. She returned to her first love, the circus. She operated the Traveling Kane Circus until she became embroiled in a conflict between Ra's al Ghul and the Sensei. Targeted by the League of Assassins for her past connections to Batman, she re-entered the hero life. Tragically, while the Dark Knight was busy battling the Bronze Tiger, she was murdered by members of the League. Though her exploits as Batwoman were erased post-Crisis, she is known to have existed in post-Crisis. Flamebird, who is what is Betty Kane's new identity, has made mention of an Aunt Kathy before. So, yeah. Batman number 682 features a Batwoman in a flashback sequence. The modern Batwoman, Kate Kane, has been referred to as Catherine the Younger, implying a mother with the same name. Additionally, the name Batwoman has been shown to... additionally, the new Batwoman has been shown to have a stepmother named Catherine, though it is not clear if this is Kathy Kane. And she was initially introduced because of the allegations that was set towards Batman and Robin during this time. If you know... there was the allegations that Batman and Robin were in a sexual relationship, and they're like, that's fucked. And they're like, no, they're not. They're ward. It's, it's Robin's Batman's ward. But because of those allegations, they introduced the original Batwoman and Batgirl to dissuade that notion. No, see, look, they're not in a relationship. They have their own love interest over there, type of thing, right? Which... I mean, you look at that and you're like, that's stupid now, right? But, back then, I'm like, I can kind of understand. You don't want your kid reading this shit. You're like, what the fuck are you reading, little dude? Right? Little fucking Timmy, come, look, mommy, look at Batman Robin. And mommy goes, oh, that's nice, sweet. What the fuck? Like, I can understand that. I mean, again, it's benefit of hindsight. You look back at it now, you're like, oh, it's dumb. There's no way Batman and Robin would ever date each other. But, like, back then, like, I can understand. And, I mean, you know what? If Netflix gets Warner Brothers, who knows? Maybe Batman and Robin will date each other at this point. Fuck, life is awful. Next, we move on to Silver St. Cloud. Oh, baby, here we go. Woo, boy. Silver St. Cloud, she is an upper class woman from Gotham City. She was involved in a romantic relationship with Bruce Wayne several years ago, but at some point she discovered that he was Batman. After witnessing one of Batman's battles, she realized that she could not live with the constant fear of losing him, so she ended the relationship and left Gotham. Years later, she returned to Gotham with her then fiancé, U.S. Senator Evan Gregory. Gregory was set on a political campaign running for governor, but ran into some complications when his opponent turned out to be the Joker. I remember this storyline. I love this. I love whenever they do shit where Joker, like, runs for political office or some shit, because it's so fucking batshit insane. Yet it's so fucking funny. After being dosed with Scarecrow's fear gas, Silver rediscovered her passion for Bruce, and it cut her relationship off with Gregory. Right after informing Gregory of the devastating news, she was abducted by the Joker, who planned to use her to pressure Gregory into dropping out. Gregory went after the Joker, but tragically lost his right arm and leg before he and Silver were rescued by Batman. Batman asked Silver to stay with Gregory while he recovered, reasoning that Gregory needed her now, and they could wait until this crisis had passed to discover their feelings. She was mad at the notion of being loaned out to another man. The man went to help save you and lost his arm and leg. The least you can do is be there and comfort him. Gregory, of course, died from his injuries, and she went to meet Bruce Wayne after that. They rekindled their relationship after Gregory's death. Silver understood Bruce's responsibility as a Batman. It was more content to have him during the daytime, while Gotham had him at night. Wayne considered giving up the mantle and settling down with Silver for good. Especially since a new mask, Baphomet, had turned up and impressed both Batman and Robin with his crime-fighting abilities. I forgot about Baphomet. Fuck! While doing this, I'm like going through the Batman history. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? Bruce finally proposed to Silver and invited Baphomet to his cave to formally introduce himself and Silver to Baphomet, but Baphomet then revealed himself to be Onomatopoeia and slit Silver's throat, killing her. Yup! That was the end of Silver St. Cloud. Onomatopoeia. Oh my god. I forgot about that dude. Because he's like never fucking used. I think they actually recently used him in that Cape Crusader show, but that show's dog shit, so you know, fuck that. Let's bring my boy back, actually. Yeah, he killed Silver St. Cloud, so fuck him, actually. Silver St. Cloud is, in my opinion, one of the best Batman love interests. I fucking adore Silver. I really do. And a lot of people still do. She's amazing. I am sad at her death. Her death does hurt. But it's one of those tragic Batman stuff that he just keeps gotta having a tragic backstory. Next we went to Juliet Pennyworth. Julia Remarque was the daughter of Alfred Pennyworth and the French heroine Mademoiselle Marie. Though due to her mother's dangerous lifestyle, she was raised by her mother's friend Jacques Remarque. For years, Julie was unaware of her mother's fate until she asked Jacques and he told her about Marie's last days. Julia learned that Marie was shot, and after the attack, she only muttered the name Alfred. Julia assumed that Marie was calling for her killer, and in order to avenge her death, she lured Alfred into a trap where he would have to stand trial for the murder of Marie. Batman intervened and found the real killer, but Julia didn't learn the truth about Alfred at that time. Eventually, she did learn that Alfred was her biological father and traveled to Gotham to join him. While in Gotham, she also investigated the murder of her adopted father, Jacques Remarque. Her investigation led her to Montreal, where she became the target of the killer known as Deadshot. Good old Floyd. For this reason, she and Alfred summoned Batman to help them, and when he captured Deadshot, they learned that he had been hired by Jacques Remarque, Julia's adopted father. Following the investigation with the police, Julia and Alfred tracked down Deadshot and his associates to their base of operations in the sewers, where Julia learned the hard way that Jacques was dead, and the crooks used his name as a decoy. Afterwards, the whole organization was dismantled, and Deadshot was finally arrested. Julia got a job at Picture News magazine. She told Vicky Vale that she had an interest in Batman. On their mission to get pictures of Mr. Freeze, they were captured by Freeze, and during the final battle between Freeze and Batman, Julia and Vicky worked together to help Batman defeat Freeze. During the rescue, Julia kissed Batman without permission, and Vicky was pretty happy about it, unaware that Bruce Wayne was Batman, because Vicky had a thing for Bruce Wayne. After a month working at Picture News, Julia managed to get her first writing assignment thanks to Vicky's influence. Remember, everyone, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Working closely with Vicky, Julia came in contact with her bosses. Julia came in contact with Catwoman, who sacrificed herself to save Batman and made Julia realize the deep love between both Batman and Catwoman. Julia was last seen during the mass breakout from Arkham Asylum in Gotham State, organized by Ra's al Ghul as part of his plan. Julia was kidnapped by Scarecrow, but was eventually rescued by both Batman and Catwoman. In the New 52, Julia is the abandoned daughter of Alfred Pennyworth, who holds resentment towards her father due to him having left her and her mother to work for Thomas and Martha Wayne. As an adult, she becomes a member of Batman's Special Reconnaissance Regiment. She first met Bruce Wayne as Batman in Hong Kong while investigating a crime lord who held connections to Carmine Falcone. After being injured, Bruce took her back to Gotham, where she was reunited with her father. So yeah, Julia, she's an interesting curiosity piece. I don't really see her much as a Batman love interest, and I more or less see her as like, it's a curious thing that, she's Alfred's daughter, right? Alfred has a daughter. I kinda would love to see her come back, but I also don't, because of how modern DC would fucking ruin her. And they'd girl boss the shit out of her. I also don't want that. So, maybe Julia's better left in the past. Then we have Nocturna, aka Natasha Knight. Natasha Knight was a street orphan who was rescued by a well-known gangster called Charles Knight at the age of 12. She grew up with him with all the privileges and luxuries of his money. However, Natasha didn't know that his illegal activities until she was of age. When he died during a crime and the police told her the truth at his funeral, she met Anton Knight, Charles' biological son, and he proposed to start an alliance to continue their father's lifestyle, but she refused. A few years later, Natasha developed a passion for astronomy and the night sky. She became an astronomer and found a job at the Gotham City Observatory, which was under Wayne's enterprise management. While working there one night, she became a victim to a radioactive laser which drained her skin of all pigment and rendered her sensitive to light. With her new skin condition, she accepted Anton's proposition, and they started a large-scale criminal spree using his skills. It was around this time that Natasha adopted the alias of Nocturna. When she and Anton planned to steal from members of Wayne Enterprises during a party at Wayne Manor, Natasha met Bruce Wayne and noticed his fascination with her. When Anton showed up, the crime went smoothly, but they were soon found by Batman, who managed to capture Anton. Nocturna managed to escape from his grasp, and she tried to release her adopted brother from prison. She was captured by the Dark Knight. Eventually, Nocturna escaped from prison and started a new criminal scheme called Nightmares Inc., organized by a new partner in crime by the name of Nightshade. However, Nocturna ended their partnership after Nightshade became despondent with her leadership and lack of love for him. Without a criminal partner to provide her with wealth and luxury, she turned her affection to Bruce Wayne and his legal battle to gain custody of Jason Todd. As Natalia Knight, she filed the adoption papers and became the adopted mother of Jason Todd, thanks to political manipulation by Mayor Hamilton Hill. This was all part of Nocturna's plan to force Bruce Wayne to marry her and continue living a life of luxury. When Anton escaped from prison, she learned he had become a murderer, and any love that he had for her turned to hate. Rejecting Anton, Nocturna prepared to receive Jason as her son, but she came across Batman once again. This time, Nocturna assisted Batman in getting rid of Anton, almost killing him, and at that moment she realized she was attracted to Batman. You almost killed my brother! I love you. During their brief romantic encounter, Nocturna revealed that she knew about his secret identity, but promised to keep it a secret as long as she could continue to be the mother of Jason Todd. Shortly after adopting Jason, Anton returned and planned to murder Nocturna and her new son in revenge. Although his plan was thwarted by Batman, Anton managed to convince Batman that he, Bruce Wayne, was Night Slayer, and subsequently Anton started posing as Batman. Yeah, this is one of those weird fucking things, like, actually, you're the bad guy and I'm the good guy. This just reminds me of the Clone Saga shit, where it's like, Ben Reilly's actually Spider-Man and Peter is not, he's the clone, and like, what the fuck, man? Nocturna and Robin worked together to stop Knight, but they were no match for the well-trained criminal. Afterwards, Nocturna helped Batman capture Anton and expose Mayor Hill's crimes. But despite all of this, she couldn't earn the love and trust of Jason. For this reason, she decided to let him return to Wayne Manor. After returning Jason to Bruce, Nocturna vanished without even saying anything and desisted from Jason's custody, leaving only a concerned Batman behind. She returned to Gotham when the Red Skies appeared. She and Batman kissed, and she attempted to help him and Robin catch Night Slayer again. She was presumed dead when Night Slayer stabbed her, and her body was taken away in her hot air balloon. She returned later as a member of the Injustice League. She also ended up facing Spoiler when she started stealing from houses in Gotham, and then Nocturna just became a villain. So there's Nocturna. I don't think too much of her. I really don't. She's just like, oh yeah, this is a piece of Batman history kind of thing to me, really. She was meant to be in an episode of Batman the Animated Series. I don't know if you guys know this, but she was meant to be in an episode of Batman the Animated Series. I want to do a video on this, going through like scrapped episodes of Batman the Animated Series, so we will go more into depth into this in that video. But she was going to be in an episode of Batman the Animated Series, and then Warner Bros. Kind of said no, because it was like supernatural shit, and they're like, don't do that. Next we have Chandra Kinsolving. Sandra Asplin was adopted by the Asplin family when she was 6 years old. Her new father, Amos Asplin, was abusive, while her adoptive and racist mother, Minnie, did nothing to help her or her brother Benjamin, who was also adopted. Amos beat his children for being metahumans, while Minnie stood idly by. One day, Benjamin and Sandra killed Amos by accident using their powers. While Sandra promised never to use her abilities again, Benjamin experimented further to increase his power. After running away from home, Sandra changed her name to Chandra Kinsolving and became a physiotherapist living in Gotham. She helped Jack Drake recover from his physical condition, and later, on Drake's son Tim's recommendation, was contracted to Bruce Wayne, who needed help with the loss of his mental and physical condition. While treating so this is Nightfall, by the way. I do have to stress, this is fucking Nightfall. So she was the physiotherapist helping Bruce Wayne with his back in Nightfall. While helping Bruce, Kinsolving developed feelings for him. A few days later, Kinsolving attended a charity event at Gotham Civic Center where she represented her clinic, which was being funded by the Wayne Foundation, as is everything. However, all the people at the event were drugged and hypnotized by Poison Ivy. Shortly after, Kinsolving was summoned to Wayne Manor, where she was asked to provide her expertise in medicine for Bruce's recovery. Wayne's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, told her that Bruce had been in a car crash, but Kinsolving knew it was a lie by examining the x-ray results. However, she decided to play along and tried her best to tend Wayne's wounds as she started to develop feelings for him. Unfortunately, she was kidnapped along with Jack Drake, an event which Wayne helplessly witnessed. Kinsolving and Drake were taken to the island of Santa Prisca, where they were held hostage until the Justice League Task Force found their location. I fucking keep forgetting about the Justice League Task Force. Oh my god. Please don't fucking ever bring this back. Don't let James Gunn know that the Justice League Task Force exists, because he'll just make a bunch of movies about fucking them. Kinsolving soon learned that the thing responsible for her abduction was her brother Benjamin, who is now under the alias of Benedict Asp. He wanted to use Kinsolving and her healing powers as part of an experiment for a new weapon. Asp took her and Drake to his residence in England, where he started experimenting with it. Unfortunately, Kinsolving was unaware that her powers were being used to create a weapon of mass destruction. After a week of testing, Kinsolving was found by a still injured Bruce Wayne in disguise, and she denied knowing him. Asp, however, knew that his mission was in peril and knocked her unconscious, taking her away from England. Once they reached another safe haven, As experimented further with Kinsolving and as a test of the psionic weapon he developed, they murdered their adoptive mother from miles away. Asp kept her drugged, and the constant exposure to drugs and mental strain caused her to become mentally unbalanced, and she would switch from an adult mentality to a childlike mindset. When Bruce Wayne came to rescue her, Asp and Bruce struggled, and Asp was injured in the fight. Kinsolving tried to heal her brother, but with her mind confused and in her drug state, she killed him. Afterwards, she was filled with regret and used her powers to completely heal Bruce from his broken back. Unfortunately, the experience was too much for her mind, and her psyche returned to that of a child permanently. Bruce Wayne bought a big residence where Kinsolving could spend the rest of her days under the best medical care. So she's very important to Nightfall, as you can see, during this period in time, which a lot of people probably don't know. That, yes, she fixes Bruce's back in Nightfall. It's crazy. Yeah, and she's got a sad ending. But it is a sad ending. She hasn't... I don't think she's ever appeared in any other media. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. But I don't think I've ever seen Chandra in anything besides this. Moving on, we now have Vesper Fairchild. Vesper Fairchild was a radio talk show host. She'd fit in perfectly in modern day. She first met Bruce Wayne when he was a guest on her show, which led to a romantic relationship between the two after a massive earthquake struck Gotham, and it was declared no man's land by the federal government. Fairchild left the city to start a career as a journalist. When she returned to the revitalized city, she continued her relationship with Bruce. Because she was investigating his alter ego Batman, he decided to sever the relationship to avoid his secret from being revealed. He invited her to Wayne Manor while he had 3 other women there, leading her to leave in tears. Soon after the relationship was dissolved, she was murdered by David Kane in a ploy by Lex Luthor to destroy Bruce's reputation and framed him for murder. Yeah, poor Vesper, huh? It is a sad, little thing for Vesper, but more importantly, during this time with Vesper, there was another person we can talk about, which is Sacha Bordeaux, Former Secret Service agent Sasha Bordeaux was hired by Lucius Fox to act as the bodyguard to Bruce Wayne. Though resistant to the idea, Lucius left Bruce with little choice but to accept her. This led to a very strained working relationship as Sasha took her duty seriously and Bruce didn't. She got the distinct impression he was trying to make her quit and suspected that there was something false about his playboy behavior. He was too physically fit for such a laid-back man. He disappeared at night for supposedly social reasons, but she never actually saw him with a woman. Her suspicions were confirmed when she found a secret compartment inside his suitcase which had the Batman arsenal. Some time passed without her bringing it up, but it soon became clear to her that Bruce was aware she knew. When the inevitable confrontation came, she had no intention of laying off her duty of protecting him, whatever he may be wearing at the time, so Bruce judged her unfit to follow him around at night. To solve this, he put her through a rigorous 30-day training program. Sasha rose to the challenge and persevered through the program. She became a costume fighter herself named Bodyguard. When David Cain framed Bruce Wayne for the murder of Vesper Fairchild, Sasha was implicated as well. She was convicted of murder before the truth was exposed and sentenced to Blackgate. She refused to even take the stand during her trial. Telling the truth would have meant exposing Batman's identity, so she said nothing. So she took it, man. Ride or fucking die. After 3 months in Blackgate, Sasha's death was faked by agents of Checkmate. She was said to have died from internal injuries suffered during a brawl in the prison yard. The truth was that she had been recruited by the organization as Checkmate, specifically by agent Jessica Midnight, who sold her on the idea of joining and beginning her training. She went through reconstructive surgery to get a new face and a new identity. Batman didn't believe she died in prison and tirelessly looked for her and harassed Checkmate for answers. Enough became enough, and Sasha was told to resolve the situation with Batman. Sasha met with Bruce and vented her frustrations over what had happened. She figured out that she never discovered he was Batman on her own. He made her find out. It was the only way he knew how to deal with how close they were getting. She told him she loved him, and he admitted he loved her as well, but she couldn't come back, and she asked that he try not to find her again. And that is the end of Sasha Bordeaux. I do like Sasha. I think it's a very interesting relationship that, she was Bruce's bodyguard. She grew to love him. She eventually became a costume fighter so she could still protect him. And then she fucking ride or died for him, dude. She went to prison for this man. Yeah, I do like Sasha. I don't think she's showed up in anything else either. And I kind of don't want her to, because with the implications about her character, modern Hollywood would have a fucking field day girl bossing her. We move on now to Jezebel Jet. Jezebel was born of a woman who was a victim of the Black Glove. This woman was placed on a wager following the Black Glove's traditional people trade. She was won by Jacob Nickel, the president of, Mitamba? I'm assuming that's how it is. Jezebel became Nickel's daughter. After a few years, Nickel sentenced Jezebel's mother to death, planting a seed of hatred in Jezebel's mind. When Nickel's enemies brought him down, stripped him of power, and murdered him, Jezebel became ruler of the African country, and she was glad of his fate. She met Bruce Wayne at a fundraising party held at a London art gallery he attended at the behest of Alfred Pennyworth, who thought his boss needed to get back in touch with his playboy persona and could do to use some gossip column stories. She showed him around the art gallery talking politics of charity, before splitting off from him to talk to another potential donor, declining to give him her phone number, citing his reputation and her interest in becoming a Wayne girl. The two got together on a ski vacation, during which Bruce presented Jet with a rare Pennyworth blue rose and launched one of his ski poles at a paparazzo, videotaping them together, mistaking him for an assassin. Wayne told her various lies about his love of dangerous sports to explain away his bruises and injuries that came from his life of Batman. At the beginning of the relationship, a relationship that was being monitored by Talia al Ghul and her continued interest in forming a life with Bruce and their son Damien, the relationship was also heavily monitored by various tabloid journalists who reported their every move, though with embellishments and speculation like current journalists. Bruce eventually told her he was Batman. This then began the Batman R.I.P. arc, where Jet revealed she was a member of the Black Glove, and this was all a ploy just to kill Batman. Jet managed to get on a plane out of Gotham, having successfully escaped being persecuted due to diplomatic immunity, with Jet stating that she will bury Bruce Wayne and Batman, even if it meant beggaring her people. While on the plane, someone calls her to a private phone, much to her anger, and after a while, the plane is attacked by a swarm of Man-Bat commandos under the orders of Talia al Ghul. Jessica was confirmed dead later when Talia showed Bruce her severed head. Yeah, fuck Jezebel Jet and all the shit she did, man. Batman R.I.P. is such a fucking weird arc. This is the Grant Morrison run, so it gets pretty fucking weird. But yeah, I remember seeing her sever head, and I'm like, oh, Okay. I remember at the time too, the fucking journalists, like the sites, were like fucking going crazy at like her severed head, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you showed that." Of course they would. It's fucking Talia al Ghul, dude. She thinks that, like, you know, the severed head in her culture is the sign of pride and like a trophy. Look, I killed the person who did you wrong. Here's their head. Damien did that. Remember, Damien brought back Bruce, the severed head of a guy, and he's like, "Look what I did, father. Aren't you proud of me?" Because in their culture, bringing back the severed head of someone is like, "Look, I did it, dude." Yeah, I didn't care. Fuck Jezebel. Next we have Catwoman, Selena Kyle. Do I have to fucking say anything about Catwoman? Like, do I really have to, like, say anything about Catwoman? I don't think I have to say anything about Catwoman. But we have Catwoman, Selena Kyle. She and Bruce in the on and off again. Will they, won't they? Cat and mouse game between the two. They've gotten together in various different continuities. In Earth 2, they get together and have Helena Wayne. They have been romantic love interests in various other corners of media, like Batman the Animated Series. They had that going on. Batman Brave and the Bold had an entire episode which was essentially Alfred's fanfic of Bruce and Selena getting together and having Damian as their son, which is a great episode, by the way. Yeah, and then we almost had the Batman and Catwoman marriage, and then Tom King fucking ruined it. Fuck Tom King, dude. She left him at the altar. I hate this motherfucker, dude. I can't wait for the day that I do my videos going over comic writers. Because I want to do videos where I go through certain comic writers and talk about if I like them or not. Tom King's video is going to be fucking, like, super long, and it's just going to be shitting on this dude. Fuck Tom King. And he's in the writer's room of James Gunn's DC. But yeah, there's Catwoman. She's awesome. Then we have Talia al Ghul. Again, I don't think I have to tell you anything about Talia. She's Ra's al Ghul's daughter. She wants to be with Bruce, and then he can take over from her father, be the new demon's head, and she'll rule right alongside him. They have their son Damien after she drugged him, and that's Talia. She's never gonna stop going after Bruce. And then we have Vicky Vale, but Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale is a news reporter that was introduced in the 1940s Detective Comics. She was created to mirror Lois Lane from Superman. Vicky often spent her time trying to figure out Batman's secret identity. She would make sporadic appearances through the 70s and 80s, but became the version we truly knew in the 90s when she began hosting a talk show, The Scene. A great use of her was post RIP in, like, the Dick Grayson Batman era, like that era, like where, like, Bruce is dead, or he's not dead, he's sent back in time because of Darkseid's Omega beams. Like, that era of Vicky is fucking great. I love that era of Vicky. That's my favorite era of Vicky Vale, is that era. Like the Dick Grayson Batman era. That's my favorite era, where she's, like, in the Red Robin books and all that stuff. Like, that's my favorite era of Vicky, to me. That's the best era of Vicky. To me, she is, of course, like a Bruce Wayne. She and Bruce are kind of like on and off sometimes. Yeah, Vicky, she's appeared in, like, plenty different continuities. I don't think any. Ironically enough, I don't think Vicky ever showed up in Batman the Animated Series because they replaced her with Summer Gleason, which should have been just Vicky Vale. She's in The Batman, only in the Batman vs. Dracula movie, and then she never shows up in the show. And I'm like, what the fuck? God damn it, dude. What are we doing? She's in Batman the Telltale series, and they have her being a reporter. But they do a little twist with Vicky, which I won't say. But if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I like Vicky. She's also in the Arkham games quite a bit. And she's a blonde, because she's normally redhead. So then we have Andrea Beaumont. So Andrea Beaumont is in the Batman the Animated Series continuity, so the DCAU continuity. She is Bruce Wayne's first love. She almost made him give up being Batman. He was that in love with her that he was like, you know, maybe I can stop this. And there's a great scene where he goes to his parents' grave, and he's like, it doesn't hurt so much anymore, right? I'll give funds to the cops, you know, right? Like they can up their budget or something, right? Like, just please, I need this to be different because I'm happy now. It's such a great scene. Andrea does eventually leave Bruce after her father is murdered by some mobsters. She leaves, then she eventually... she and Bruce were engaged to be married, by the way. She leaves, she gives him back the ring, then she comes back years later. She easily figures out he's Batman. And she's dating... I forget what he is. Is he like he's like a DA or something like that? He's some bureaucrat like that, right? She's dating this guy who used to be the assistant to her dad, and now he's dating her, but she doesn't actually like him. She's just kind of dating him to fuck with Bruce. Then she and Bruce start they get back together again. Then it's revealed at the end of the movie something about Andrea, which I don't want to spoil. Go watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Okay, best Batman movie. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. It's not the best Batman movie. It's the best theatrical Batman movie because it is released in theaters. And then Andrea just disappears after this. She's never seen again in Batman the Animated Series. She is shown again in the Justice League Unlimited episode Epilogue, which is a nice little continuity. I believe they say Andrea does just kind of die alone, which is sad. But yeah, I love Andrea Boma. I think she's really cool to have her be like a first love interest to Bruce, and then all the stuff happens with her. She does make an appearance in the Arkham games, so you can find a postcard from her on the floor in Arkham Origins, and she leaves a voicemail in Arkham Shadow, which was an update that they added. That I fucking love. I love that shit, man. Andrea is sweet. I love Andrea. Barbara Gordon, fuck this shit. So this is Bruce Timm and his fucking weird fetish. So for those who don't know, Bruce Timm has this weird ship between Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon, and he puts that shit in everything. It's not seen so much in OG Batman the Animated Series, right? You get some of it, like when it's Barbara and she's fantasizing about Batman. She doesn't actually know who he is. It's just Batman, right? But then she, like she should, grows to love Dick Grayson. And then in Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, she and Dick, my like engagements talk, you know, right? Like they're talking engagement, right? And then Bruce Timm, this motherfucker, in season 4 really tries to stress it, and in Batman Beyond really stresses that Bruce and Barbara were a thing. I'm fucking sorry. She's the same age as his son. His son was going to marry her. It's fucked up. And this is where the Batman animated series kind of timeline fucks up with me. It's fucking awful. Then Dick Grayson returns in season 4 as Nightwing, the GOAT. He and Barbara do start dating again in the comic books. And it turns out she gets pregnant with Bruce's kid. I fucking hate this shit. Then she gets into a scuffle in an alley, has a miscarriage. When Dick finds out Bruce impregnated Barbara, he beats the fuck out of him, well deserved, and Dick says, "I'm fucking out of here." And honestly, I don't think anyone can blame Dick Grayson for this. It's fucking crazy, man, and I hate this Bruce and Barbara weird fucking fetish love ship that Bruce Timm has created. Okay? She's his son's girlfriend. In multiple continuities, Barbara is Dick Grayson's wife. They are currently dating in the comics right now. It's fucked up, man. I hate this. It's ew. It's disgusting. Okay, it's disgusting. Especially when you look at the age gap. Now, I'm not one to really give a fuck about age gaps. But this age gap should really be fucking, scrutinized. Okay? And then they did the thing in the Killing Joke movie, which is what fucking ruins that fucking movie, where they have Bruce and Barbara have sex on a rooftop. And they make their relationship sexual. Fuck this ship. Then there's Zatanna. This is really only in Batman the Animated Series, from what I can tell, where they kind of imply Bruce and Zatanna have a thing, and I don't blame them, because Zatanna, holy fucking shit. I don't blame Batman at all. I would fold in a second for her. Goddamn.
I am going to commit great crime. I'm going to bust nut in Water Tower.
Then we have Rachel Dawes, so she is from the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight movies. Rachel was a childhood friend of Bruce. Then when he comes back, she becomes his love interest in the Dark Knight. There's like a love triangle with her, Bruce, and Harvey, and she's, I think she's engaged to Harvey. I can't remember exactly if they get engaged. But Rachel dies, Joker blows her up, And there's that. And Rachel was very pretty in the first movie, and then the second movie, a horse kicked her in the fucking face. And then there is Wonder Woman, Diana Prince. So Wonder Woman and Batman have been shipped together in multiple different continuities. Never actually in mainline continuity. They just keep like the Trinity or like the best of friends type of thing. But they do ship Batman and Catwoman and a lot of other things, especially in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Bruce and Diana are shipped quite a lot, and I don't mind that in the slightest. I don't mind that at all. I think that works very fine. I don't mind Bruce and Diana. They have gotten together in like Elseworld continuities as well, Bruce and Diana. I don't mind Bruce and Diana dating or being together. Like, this isn't a problem for me. But it should be Elseworld. Not non-mainline, but Elseworlds, I'm all fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. I mean, hell, I'll take fucking Bruce and Diana dating in the DCAU over him and Barbara, for fuck's sake. So yeah, that is Batman's love interest. Overall, his best love interest to me, and the one I'm like, this is his true ride or die love interest, is Catwoman. Like, that's just it. Like, it's just Batman and Catwoman. That is the love interest, and that's the good ending. Is him and Catwoman get married. That is the good ending, and that's what I truly love. Other love interest I like is, like I said, I like Wonder Woman if it's an Elseworlds continuity. Andrea Beaumont is really good. I like as like the start thing, and then what happens to her happens. I like that. Vicky Vale is good for like the Bruce Wayne persona when he's in between Catwoman maybe. Talia is okay as like a fling, right? Like he kind of fucks her every now and then, but it's nothing too serious. Like, I'm okay with that. And like her pining after him, and he doesn't really want it because she wants him to be a fucking mass murdering freak. Yeah, I like it. I especially like it when Talia's hot. You know, because she's also meant to tempt him, right? She's meant to tempt him and have some doubts. So she's got to be good looking, which Gotham Knights did not do. You expect me to believe that this is the lady that made Bruce think twice? No fucking way. So yeah, that's Batman's love interests as a whole. Most of them are just kind of whatever, but there are the couple that I do think are like true love interests to Batman that are really good. But yeah, my favorite it is Catwoman, Selena Kyle. That is the good ending. That is the definitive ending, and let's get that happening. Let's give them a true wedding. I think we need to finally just pull the plug. You tried to pull the plug before, and do you remember how much that sold? Oh my god, we're gonna get Batman, Catwoman married, and you fucking pulled the plug because you're a bunch of bitches. So there we go. That is what I think of the Batman love interest. Let me know your favorite Batman love interest. What do you think about all of them in the comments down below? And I'll see you guys all next time. Take care. Happy belated Valentine's Day. At this point, White Day is gonna happen before it closer to this video than fucking Valentine's Day.